హైదరాబాద్ లో జరుగుతున్న CII సదస్సులో ముఖ్యమంత్రి మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. ప్రత్యక్ష ప్రసారం ద్వారా చూద్దాం.
We can freely allow them to have open access, whether it's renewable energy or from whichever outside sources. Their cost of operations will be much lower, and it can seriously be a fillip to the industry. So my suggestion is, if you could consider free open access with whatever the transmission charges and all are, it will make a big difference in growing that power, in growing the IT industry. The second suggestion was, sir, we've got the second suggestion was we have among the best infrastructure in India for the convention and business with high techs and the convention center. We also have great tourist facilities, tourist sites to see. One of the challenges is that we're not marketing our state both for MICE and tourism. And secondly, our taxes on hotels is among the highest in the country. If there's something could be done on that, because the tax structure on the hotels is actually very high. And this could be a great job opportunity. This could actually create a lot of jobs both directly but also for the small businessmen to promote tourist and tourism related activities and for the MICE business. So.
Meanwhile, met earlier also, we had a lot of discussions. Around the core city of Hyderabad, we have HMDA with us, which is about 7,200 square kilometers. The planning was not done in a proper way, the zoning and all that. And every day I receive complaints of heavy corruption, very, very heavy corruption. Though it was a little painful, we removed some of the senior bureaucrats from the highest positions from that organization. We are totally relooking at the whole zoning and how to develop this HMDU, which is promoting the new nodes of development of Hyderabad. What it should be, what it should not be, where the tourism should go, where the other things should go. All that is being looked at now. We are also trying to assign some of these activities, some good international agencies also. Very shortly we will be coming up with that policy. And this free access to power, partially it is being given now in a limited manner, because the state generating corporation also is expected to make a living and clear up the loans which have been raised from the REC. The REC chairman, I think yesterday evening he was here in Hyderabad. He handed over me the check of 16,000 crores, which is expected to be spent on the new power to come to us. So there's a striking of balance, how far it can be extended to. That matter is also under examination. The GENCO authorities and the transport distribution companies recently we met. The Chief Secretary is looking into the matter. I think shortly we will make our policy very clear.
Thank you. May I request Ajit Gulabchand of HCC, please.
Well, sir, having launched upon the reconstruction of Telangana, there are two basic issues I'd like to mention. One is the infrastructure. I think the state needs a clear infrastructure policy, which how much of it will be done by the state and how much will invite private sector to participate. And when I mean by infrastructure, I mean roads, I mean water, I mean all types of it, but particularly in the area of construction. Now here there is very ancient procurement policies, ancient structures that are there, which are not working as well. And there is no clarity and a promise that changes will not be made once concessions are given. And too often governments have been able to say that we need private sector to bring in more money into infrastructure. I think it's not the best way of looking at it. A better way of looking at it would be to use the private sector energy to build this infrastructure faster. So it would be nice to know what would be the infrastructure policy of the state and what kind of road network as a state roads it wishes to build, which will link with the national highways on one side. The second question, sir, is that after all, though you're 42% urbanized, is basically substantially Hyderabad. You will need more cities that are already there to be improved. You will need great cities to be created near agricultural produce so what would be the state's policy in which private sector can participate in creating the city smart? And as the Prime Minister has said, that we should have started urbanization 30 years ago. Yet, we are late now, so we should do that faster, and we must make it smarter. So what is the policy of the state in the urbanization plan beyond Hyderabad, in which we can all participate?
We have witnessed two guests coming little late to the meeting. One is the Minister for Industry, Mr. Tajkrishna Rao. Another one, Srimati Vanitha Datla, who is the chairman of our Telangana CII. They just came late because of the traffic problems in Hyderabad. We understand it, we face it every day here. So to overcome these problems in and around Hyderabad, we made very good plans. We are encouraging the private sector to participate in creating the required infrastructure for Hyderabad. I think 2,800 crores.
Yes, sir.
The total is 21,000 crores.
21,000, sir. 4,000 we are bidding right now. We are 4,000 bids right now.
The GHMC, the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, was ordered to prepare plans in line with the city of Dallas of US to go in for multi-level flyovers in the junctions, and a Canadian organization called Lee Associates was assigned with the job. They made very good studies of Hyderabad and Andhra. They gave us the reports. I think about 21,000 crores worth infrastructure creating in and around Hyderabad has been decided. I think right now we are going to call tenders for 4,000 crores. This is all we are trying to entrust to the private sector. We are expecting very big companies to come and participate in creating infrastructure for Hyderabad. We hope that it will come up in the desired manner. Yeah, this is an annuity model. Which was the other question, sir? I could not follow it. Agriculture. Satellite towns.
Not satellite to...
Satellite towns or cities, whatever.
No. More
Constructing
cities
new
other
cities.
than Hyderabad. New cities. Or small towns becoming bigger cities other than Hyderabad.
We fully understand. At the same time, I would like to put one idea across here. Since we possess a very good land bank with us, we are offering to the industry, whether it is IT industry, manufacturing industry, or any other kind of industry. The industries will make the allotment of lands to the industry to have their own townships, very good townships. If it is a large industry employing about 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 employees, they can construct their own township in their own fashion, in the manner they desire. So these kind of encouragement, I think, out of our industrial policy, we have come to a conclusion. Recently, I had a discussion with the CREDI and the real estate organization of Hyderabad. We are making some good plans. All those things can come up only in the area of HMDA, Hyderabad Metro Development Authority, where the greenfield activity can take place to create the real new townships, new satellite towns, or gated community kind of thing. All that is under examination. I think we'll be coming up with a very decent plan very shortly.
Thank you very much, sir.
You can tell Shalini to also look at these. No problem.
Thank you.
ये भाषणबाजी से ही अच्छा होता है.
ठीक है, sir. Pavan Goenka, he's with Mahindras.
I know him.
You know him.
After this also we are going to meet here.
Well, sir, since I walked in late, thanks for the flight delay, I have lost my right to ask for anything.
No problem.
Instead, I'm going to market this state for you. Mahindra, as many know, has perhaps the largest manufacturing plant in the state of Telangana. And about 10 years ago, we were considering shutting down the plant. And today the plant has 2.5 lakh capacity. And that has happened because of great support that we have gotten from the undivided state and now even more aggressively from the new state of Telangana. In fact, we have just set up 2 new sub-plants within the plant, one for a largest tractor manufacturing plant in India, and second for a new product, Jito. And in both of them, we have gotten very good industrial support from the state. The important thing that I want to point out is that all the commitments that were made have been met, which doesn't always happen. And I thank you very much for that. Of course, there are some small issues that we have talked about, and I won't bring them up here, that we'll keep working on. But the progressiveness and the way we have gotten response from the administration has been very good for us, and it really encourages us to expand in the state more and more. So thank you for all the support that you've given us. Nothing I have to ask for. Thank you.
Thank you, Pawan. Good news for you is that the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation has ordered Mahindra to supply 2,000 Jitos. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. May I now request past President Mr. Arun Bharatram, he's with SRF.
Thank you. Mr. Chief Minister,
Yeah, please.
the Prime Minister has talked about competitive federalism and that the states must act and compete with each other. And today, what we have heard is something which is quite astounding, that in 1 year's time, you have come up with such good policies and policies which will encourage people to come and invest in the state. In industry, we have always felt that while within our own companies and businesses, we hold everyone responsible for performance. In government, if a bureaucrat doesn't perform, there is no consequence for him. And it was music to our ears today to hear that if permissions or actions are not taken within stipulated time, that you take action against people and make sure that the performance is done. Sir, I'm curious to know, what action do you take to make sure that this actually happens? I mean, we would all be quite, it would be something that other states must emulate from what you have been able to achieve.
It's very nice of you. The penalization of a particular bureaucrat who delays the matter was not announced by me. It was announced by the head of the official bureaucracy, Mr. Rajiv Sharma, our Chief Secretary. He made this announcement. Any officer delaying the matter for no reason will be penalized 1,000 rupees a day. If he is delaying by 1 day, it will be 1,000 rupees fine to him, which will be a very bad remark against him, which nobody wants also normally. So these kind of things are there. And moreover, I would like to say one thing here. To oversee all this, my principal secretary, let me introduce to this August House, Srimati Shanti Kumari. She is the principal secretary in my office, and she oversees the whole thing. This chasing cell, everything, she is in charge of it. And she keeps me informed every day that what is happening. Myself, my chief secretary and my principal secretary and the secretary industries, Mr. Arvind Kumar, we are all very cautiously watching. And so far by now, we have cleared about 36 industries, 17 in one batch and 19 in another batch. The first batch was given the clearances within 11 days, and the second batch was given within 12 days. And all 36 clearances, those packets, were handed over by me in my own office. We tried to live up to your expectations. So far, by now, we lived up to your expectations, and we try to keep it up. That's what I'm going to assure.
Thank you very much, sir. May I now request Mr. Ashok Suta? He's with Happiest Minds.
Happiest minds.
Happiest Minds.
Mr. Chief Minister, all that we've heard today has been really very impressive, be it your Chief Secretary's presentation, the film we saw, and I say most importantly, your own lucid comments and responses to everything that we've heard. Before I do ask my question, I'd like to just preface it by saying, I used to live in Hyderabad for 6 years, and I was the chief executive of a very large manufacturing company, Shriram Refrigeration, before I moved to Bangalore and into the IT industry. And what I've heard here today is I can see that you're doing exceedingly well on attracting large mega projects, your single window clearances, etc. What I would like to give you as a comparison is that today Bangalore is seen as really clearly the startup hub of India. It is also seen as one of the top hotspots in the world on startup. So what are you going to do in the state to encourage entrepreneurship, startup culture? And I do believe that the future of this country actually lies, of course it's important to get these large basic infrastructure projects, etc. out of the way, but the future really lies in the hundreds and thousands of startups which need to be developed.